Welcome to this week's Jackson County Board of Commissioners meeting. This meeting is held in the Jackson County Courthouse Auditorium at 10 South Oakdale in Medford. This meeting is held every Wednesday morning at 9:30, as long as a quorum of 2 commissioners is available to conduct the business of Jackson County. Your Jackson County Commissioners broadcast this meeting over Rogue Valley Television, and it's available for streaming and review at jacksoncountyor.gov. Under the Government tab, under Recorded Meetings, click on RVTV Live Streaming. The types of business that occur at this meeting include public hearings, official voting on actions by the Board of Commissioners, presentations by departments of the county, and recognition of service that makes our county great. Agendas of the meetings are posted on the Commissioners' Bulletin Board and released on the county's website and through local media in the time required for public notice. Many of the conclusions on the business presented to the Board of Commissioners have been discussed in detail and prepared by the administrative office and staff prior to consideration at this meeting and the official vote. These prior discussions also have been properly noticed and the work done in a transparent manner. We encourage you to come and experience the process by attending any of these meetings or watch online at jacksoncountyor.gov. And now, your Jackson County Commissioners, Rick Dyer, Colleen Roberts, and Randy Sparacino, working for you.
Well, good morning. We'll call to order the Board of Commissioners regular meeting for June 25th, 2025. It's 9:30, and we're in the Courthouse Auditorium and also an audio-video conference. And we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you stand and join us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Woohoo!
And we're going to start off. We have the honor of recognizing a Community Service Award, and it's Mary Figura. And if she would like to meet us up front, and Ms. Zencraft.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I get to read all the wonderful accolades about Mary for this Community Service Award presented on June 25th, 2025. The Jackson County Board of Commissioners is pleased to present the June 2025 Community Service Award to Ms. Mary Figura for her service to the community through Food and Friends. She was nominated by Catherine Zencraft, which is here with us today, volunteer coordinator, for her volunteer work with Food and Friends for nearly 20 years. She said it was her fault she's here. So Ms. Figura has been volunteering as a home delivery driver since 2005. She delivers meals to older adults living in City of Shady Cove, providing not only a hot meal, but also a moment of social connection and a safety check. Mary is a fantastic example of a volunteer who goes the extra mile, ensuring all of the participants on her route feel safe and appreciated. Fellow volunteers describe Mary as dedicated, extremely hardworking, and very kind. When new volunteers need to be trained, she is the first person that is called. Her knowledge of the program as a whole and the participants she delivers to is incomparable. Mary's accomplishments with Food and Friends is demonstrated in her day-to-day actions while making deliveries. She is most impactful simply by being the compassionate and selfless volunteer that she is. She takes the initiative and makes herself available to cover for other volunteers who have been absent. She truly goes above and beyond the call of duty with dedication of her time and service, making her a reliable volunteer. Anyone who speaks to Mary can tell that she does not just go through the motions of volunteering, she truly enjoys herself and has fun, all while providing an invaluable service to the community. The Board of Commissioners is grateful to Ms. Zencraft for bringing Ms. Mary Figura to our attention, and we are pleased to recognize her for her contribution to Jackson County. We believe Ms. Figueroa's efforts distinguish her as a citizen worthy of this June 2025 Community Service Award. Congratulations.
Well, it's always great to be able to honor, especially the superstars of this network of people that we have that are always looking for the opportunity to serve the needs of our community, wherever that might be, whatever that might look like. This one especially, I know it's not only about nourishing meals, but it's more about the companionship, and I'm sure that that's what means the most. And again, I'm sure it's much appreciated by those you serve, but it's appreciated by your whole community as well. So thank you. Appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
Well, it's my privilege to give you the award and congratulate you for this, Mary. The work that you do with Food and Friends is immeasurable, and it makes Jackson County a better place to live.
And we're going to,
Oh my
if
God.
you'd like to.
I think that all the things that have been said about Mary is, I have no other words. I wrote most of that, so that's that's all I have to say about you. Thank you so much for being part of our program. Truly immeasurable and invaluable. I thank you so much for your service.
Thank you, everybody. I mean, this is beautiful. It really is.
Well, before we give you the final word, I just have to, I don't think you'll mind, but she told me before the meeting started, she's 90 years young. And that's just, what an example to all of us to never quit giving and serving and helping each other. So you get the final word, even though I exposed your age.
Hey, I mean, it's a matter of mind over matter. If you don't move, you don't do. And of course, at 90, I should be sitting in a rocking chair knitting, but I don't like that. So, you know, I'm going to keep on going as long as I can. And thank you for everybody that has participated in this. And this lady that, you know, she started it all. It's her fault. Thank you so much.
Well, congratulations. Son. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Mary, I'm going to give you this.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you again. Thanks.
Oh, wow.
That's so nice.
And they spelled the name right.
They did.
Good job. Thanks for all you do. Thank you.
I think I want to be like Mary when I'm 90. Yeah. So we're going to move on to the request for and discussion of non-agenda items pursuant to our codified ordinances of Jackson County, Section 213.06. Members of the public may address any item that's not on today's agenda. However, pursuant to RS 192.640, the Board of Commissioners is prohibited from discussing a principal subject that is not on the agenda. Therefore, the Board of Commissioners will listen to your concerns and may consider the matter you raised by asking staff to follow up on any questions or by placing the matter on the agenda for discussion at a future meeting. So we do have a sign-up sheet in the auditorium, and we'll start with that. And then if you still want to speak, you can. We won't close it, and anybody online can raise their Zoom hand. We'll bring you in as well. So first of all, we'll have Maynard Vitalis. And if you give your name and address for the record, and it is a 5-minute limit, so the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So I am here, my name is Maynard Vitalis, and I'm at 2010 Skyview Drive. And I'm here with another fellow resident of Skyview, John Kennard, in the back of the room. And we represent 22 of the residents on Skyview who live on a failed road. This road failure occurred earlier this year, inauspiciously on February 14th. And we've had a tremendous amount of difficulty trying to figure out what the best thing to do would be to fix the road. We did appeal to the Board of Commissioners to attempt to declare an emergency and take over and assume responsibility for repairing the road. However, that was denied. We have also prepared an email that we sent about a month ago, and in that email we outlined some of the predicaments in which we find ourselves in, and we also indicated that there were some other options besides declaring an emergency in order to be able to help out the residents here. We feel that there are some appropriate things that the Board of County Commissioners can do, and we're just hoping that in the month that has occurred since that email was sent out, that you guys are diligently exploring the various options I can assume to partake in order to be able to help us out. But so far we have not even heard even an acknowledgement. So we're hoping that you will figure out the right thing to do is and reach out to us and figure out how you can actually help us out, because we are in dire straits and we don't see any good solution at hand. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up would be Brad Bennington.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brad Bennington, 2886 Orchard Home Drive, beautiful Medford. Administrator Jordan, Council Benton as well. I understand that perhaps there's been a recent birthday. Keep at it, Commissioner Dyer. Someday you will be a senior citizen. Someday. Hang in there. You'll get there. So recently, in both the RV Times and the Oregon OPB website, spoke in glowing terms of county management. Of course, the county has recently closed its fiscal year. There was a presentation done by the administrator at the forum, and I think everyone understands that our county, out of Oregon's 36 counties, we are in a uniquely auspicious position because of the really just incredible management that we've experienced over the last 20 years. I mean, you've provided $300 million of capital improvements over the last 20 years at no cost to taxpayers. You've engaged approximately another $300 million currently underway, again, at no cost to taxpayers. We have strong reserves. We have resources set aside for PERS obligations. And we should all be very grateful and happy about that, and we are. But economic winds of adversity are blowing, and those winds, they're going to affect the state, and they're eventually going to affect our county as well. In spite of your best efforts, very effective efforts at management. In an article that was just published yesterday in the Oregonian, we see that Owens Corning's is shutting down a door plant in Prineville, Oregon. Now, Prineville is about 4 hours away from here. It's 200 jobs. So 200 jobs in Prineville. How's that going to affect us down here in Jackson County? Well, you read a little bit further down in the article, and what you find out is it's part of 14,000 jobs that have gone away from Oregon since the fall of 2022. We've recently learned that Tektronix, it used to be the largest employer in the state of Oregon, is relocating their mothership out of state. Dutch Brothers has announced that they're relocating their mothership out of state. The legislature currently in session, we already know that many of the bills that were passed, many of these signed into law by the governor, are going to increase the cost of fuel. They're going to increase the cost of businesses, more fees, more regulatory burden on business people. This is going to have an effect on Jackson County. Now, I have confidence that this administrator and this Board of Commissioners will act wisely and prudently, but it is unavoidable that these economic winds of adversity will not have an effect even on us in our well-managed county. And I also know that you communicate regularly through your lobbyists and also yourselves with our governor, with the governor's staff, and that you have your opinions, your input does have an impact with the governor and with our state management. And with that in mind, I say this: please continue to work on the economic common sense procedures that we ought to be applying during these times. I mean, if anything, here in the state of Oregon, if anything, we should be making it easier for young people to start businesses. We should make it easier for people that are already in business to maintain their businesses. We should make costs lower. The regulatory burden should be lower. The rules, anywhere rules can be lessened, that should happen. Some of these rules, like the heat and smoke rules that OSHA has now that never existed before, these were done by the governor's executive order to OSHA in 2020. And we had some forest fires, we had some things going on. But we have a very problematic situation where many of these rules and regulations have become so burdensome that our providers are just saying, you know what, enough. They're doing what Tektronix did. They're doing what Dutch Brothers has done. They're just saying, we love Oregon, we love the people, we love our customers here, we just can't afford to operate in Oregon anymore. And even again, here in well-managed Jackson County, where you've done such a wonderful job managing our county, all of these business adverse practices are still affecting all of the businesses that are located here in Jackson County. Can you imagine a day? And some of us here are old enough to remember, can any of us imagine, remember back in the day when you came into Medford and the first thing you saw was Medco, right? And there's a shopping center there. Now, it's not that shopping centers are bad things, but shopping centers don't provide anywhere near the economic vitality and vigor that Medco did. Medco was a financial monster. It created many, many millionaires, robust financial activity. So I think we as residents of Jackson County realize how fortunate we are to be in the financial situation that we're in. What we also want to recognize is that all of it, so many of our counties are neighboring counties: Klamath, Douglas, Coos, Curry. All the way to Idaho. Our other counties are struggling. Our neighbor counties in Oregon, and to the extent that we can, we are very grateful for any efforts to bring common sense regulatory reform to Oregon that will filter down to Jackson County and make it easier for our young people to start new businesses and make it easier for our people that already own businesses to operate them. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. That's all that's signed up in the auditorium, but if you wish to speak, you can still come to the microphone, give your name and address for the record, or if anybody's online, raise your Zoom hand, we'll bring you in.
Madam Chair, there's no one with their Zoom hand raised at this time.
Okay, and nobody's coming up. Before we close the public comment, is there any comment staff wanted to make on anything today? Follow up? Anything on either the budget or the roads, of the road?
Well, we've responded to the issue of the road already. I think that people don't like our answer. The county's not responsible for maintaining local access roads. This particular group of people knows they're responsible for it. They actually formed an organization to be able to manage the roads. We've already said we're not going to declare it an emergency. I do want to correct one thing in the letter they sent you. They said that the county created this problem. This road was dedicated to the county, and as I said, it is a local access road that the county doesn't maintain, but it actually was the Medford, oddly enough, in the early 50s, it was the Medford Planning Commission that approved it, not the county. So, and that is odd, but it was 1950, so I'm sure a lot of things occurred differently in the 50s than they occur now. So I'm not really sure if there's any other information to give the group of people. I will say, they explained to you that they've received bids, I think $700,000, and it would cost each household roughly $30,000, that they don't believe that they can afford that. And I believe that's what they believe constitutes an emergency, but it's essentially a joint and several issue. Like, everybody could pay for it or one person could pay for it, but the homeowners are responsible for maintaining it. It's not a private road because the county would have to vacate the right-of-way, which we typically also don't do and wouldn't do. There was a portion of the road that was vacated, I think in 1976. That was, I think it's known as Sundial Road or something to that effect. But you can't just unilaterally privatize a road. So I think that answers that. And, on the budget, I won't disagree with anything that's said, but we get things thrown our way all the time, and as they come our way, we try to deal with them, and we try to pre-plan things we can pre-plan. Our budget includes a 5-year strategic plan, which we, I think, manage pretty well.
Great.
If there was something else specifically you would like me to address, I will.
No, I think that's good. I think the legislative session has no hold on any regulatory or taxing wishes they have on Oregon. We've fought as many of them as a board, so
Can I make one final comment about the road? I talked to several of the residents, certainly want to help find a solution. The solution is, the county administrator said, is not declaring an emergency, but any other solutions that are out there that the county can be reasonably part of a solution. I know I'm willing to do what I can. I understand it's a very difficult situation. Nobody takes it lightly, but I do think that we have definitely given it our attention, and again, want you to find a solution, because I understand it's a real problem for you.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the consent calendar. We have minutes of meetings for the Board of Commissioners work session from June 3rd, 2025, the Board of Commissioners regular meeting for June 4th, 2025, and Board of Commissioners staff meeting June 5th, 2025. And we have a lot of appointments or reappointments to committees to approve. We have order approving Terrell Roper to the Airport Advisory Committee. It's order number 118-25. An order reappointing Rob Hernandez, Robert Field, and Robert Kroll to the Airport Advisory Committee. It's order number 119-25. An order reappointing James Monenbach to the Animal Control Advisory Committee. Order number 120-25. An order reappointing Drew Gilliland to the County Roads Advisory Committee, and it's order number 121-25. An order reappointing Glenn Erie and Star Priester to the County Wolf Advisory Committee, order number 122-25. An order reappointing Obie Strickler to the Marijuana Advisory Committee, order number 123-25. An order appointing Tanya Aldaco to the Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities Advisory Committee, order number 124-25. An order reappointing Joe Dittburner and Morgan Salmons to the Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities Advisory Committee, order number 125-25. An order appointing Stephanie Adge, I'm probably messing up everybody's name, A-G-E-E. A-G, what is that? Sarah Petrosini to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, order number 126-25. An order reappointing Deborah Johnson and Teresa Morris to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, order number 125-25. And finally, an order reappointing Nick Fahey to the Regional Disposal Site Advisory Committee, order number 128-25.
Move approval of the consent calendar.
And I'll second.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. And we have a lot of advisory committees, and we really appreciate all these people who volunteer their time on these committees. We have more. But that's all that we're getting reappointed today. So we do have some public hearings today. We have a public hearing and an order in the matter of annexation of property located at 12594 McNeil Creek Road and Trail to Jackson County Rural Fire Protection District number 4, and it's order number 129-25. Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, Madam Chair, members of this board, as you said, in this case, we have one parcel. It's located at 12594 McNeil Road and Trail. In this case, it's 100% petition by the landowners. It's 156.04 acres. Pursuant to ORS 198-857, which prescribes a procedure for annexation of property to a district by the petition of landowners, the landowners did file a petition with the county on May 27th of 2025, requesting that one parcel, as I previously described the address in Trail, be annexed. The parcel consists approximately 156.04 acres. It's commonly known as Township 34 South, Range 1 East, Tax Lot 300. ORS 198-857 sub 4 does provide that when determining whether to approve the petition, the county board shall consider the local comprehensive plan for the area and any service agreement executed between a local government and the affected district. In this case, our county council has reviewed the local comprehensive plan for the area and reported that the annexation of the property to the fire districts is consistent with the comprehensive plan. Notice of this public hearing was mailed to the petitioners and the board of Fire District 5 on June 18th of 2025. It's recommended that the public hearing be held. Following the public hearing, should the Board of Commissioners find the proposed annexation is acceptable, approval of the board order will implement that action, and the effective date of the annexation will be the date of the order.
Thank you. Do we need to read rules for the hearing?
We do.
Okay, gotta have rules.
Without rules, you have anarchy.
That's true.
Uh,
Is that right?
Pursuant to the codified ordinance, the rules for the conduct of the public hearing are hereby established as follows. Only the chairperson or member of the Board of County Commissioners may question a speaker. There'll be no interruption of a speaker from the audience, no debates on the floor. Applause is not permitted. The speaker may criticize the proposal, the board, or an agency of the county, but the speaker shall not argue with another speaker directly. Any speaker may present an opposite view, but not in personal terms. A person wishing to speak shall sign in or raise his or her hand or be recognized by the chairperson conducting the hearing. After being recognized, the speaker shall state his or her name and address before proceeding with his or her statement. The chairperson may limit the duration of any presentation to the time necessary to cover factual information. Repetition by a speaker shall be avoided. Whoever violates any of these such rules shall first be warned by the chairperson to desist from such violation, and in the event that such person is not so desist, he or she may be ordered by the chairperson to leave the hearing.
Thank you for that. So with that, we will open the public hearing. If nobody's signed up, but if you want to speak to this issue of the annexation into the Rural Fire Protection District, you could come up and speak on it. Or if you are online and would like to add public comment, please raise your Zoom hand.
Madam Chair, no one has their Zoom hand raised.
Okay, and nobody is speaking, so I will close the public hearing and take a motion for deliberation.
I will move to approve order number 129-25.
And is there any discussion on this?
Always encourage folks to look for fire protection and 100% petition, so this obviously is a good move by them.
Agreed.
Yep, I agree.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Our second public hearing is a hearing and order adopting a supplemental budget number 2 for fiscal year 2024-2025. It's order number 130-25. Mr. Jordan.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is going to be a bit long-winded, so I apologize up front. In this case, in accordance with Oregon Revised Statute 294-473 sub 1B, notice for the supplemental budget was published in the Rogue River Press on Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. This is the second supplemental budget for fiscal year 24-25. Supplemental budget number 2 for fiscal year 24-25 will increase appropriation authority in the capital projects, central services, exposition park, general road, health and human services, motor pool, recreational enterprise, and risk management general and auto liability funds. That'll be done as follows. In capital projects fund, a $64,300 transfer from the exposition park fund will be used to purchase and install large fans in the Barker and Kraus barns. The result of this adjustment will increase the operating expenses category by $64,300. That'll move it from $500,000 to $564,300, and the total net effect of this adjustment will increase the capital projects funds appropriation by that same amount, $64,300, from $638,869 to $703,169. In the Central Services Fund, Facility Maintenance Program in the County Administration Department has various B7 projects. B7 is the form used in our enterprise system to identify and scope projects. That includes a roof replacement at the Eagle Point, Talent, and White City libraries in the amount of $325,000. Additional operating expenses to maintain the Justice Building in the amount of $100,000. An upgraded elevator control for the jail for $48,250. Various other projects that will be completed at county facilities totaling $52,750. The result of this adjustment will increase the operating expenses category and the overall county administration department budget by $526,000. That'll be from $8,651,532 to $9,177,532. Total net effect of these adjustments will increase the Central Services Fund appropriations by that same amount of $526,000 from $22,469,951 to $22,995,951. In the Exposition Park Fund, $64,300 from the Friends and Fair Foundation, which I just mentioned in the Central Services fund as a project is being used to purchase those large fans for the Barker and Kraus barns. Funds are being transferred, as I just described, to the Capital Projects Fund for the purchase and installation of the fans. The result of this adjustment will create a new transfers category in the amount of $64,300, and the total net effect of the adjustment will increase the Exposition Park Fund appropriations by that same amount, $64,300, from $2,921,734 to $2,986,034. In the general fund, additional state weighmaster fines in the amount of $50,000 collected from the Justice Court District will be used for unbudgeted operating expenses that include temporary labor and internal services fund chargeback adjustments. This adjustment will increase the Justice Court District operating budget expense category and total budget by $50,000 from $665,177 to $715,177. The Sheriff's Office will use behavioral health deflection grant funding in the amount of $246,000 for the implementation of the gel-based medications for opioid use disorder, or MOUD program, and additional funding from the Oregon Department of Transportation, or ODOT, Traffic Safety Office for driving under the influence of intoxicants in the amount of $183,680, which will be used for enforcement of patrols to combat instances of DUII. These adjustments will increase the operating expenses category by $429,680 from $45,032,719 to $45,462,399. Overall, these adjustments will increase the Sheriff's Office budget by $429,680 from $45,416,704 to $45,846,384. Total net effect of these adjustments will increase the general fund appropriations by $479,680 from $149,384,429 to $149,864,109. In the general road fund, non-dedicated fund balance in the amount of $1,346,500 will be used to repair a landslide on Ramsey Road. $16,500 of that $1,346,500 is for that. Maintenance of a traffic light systems in the amount of $80,000, and replacing the Friedenberg Bridge number 265 in the amount of $1,250,000, which, as you know, was destroyed by fire caused by arson. The result of the adjustment will increase the operating expenses category by $1,346,500 from $32,634,455 to $33,980,955, and the total net effect of the adjustment will increase the general road fund appropriations by that same amount of the $1,346,500 from $35,224,288 to $36,570,788. I'm getting close, I promise. The Health and Human Service Fund, $70,000 is being reclassed from operating expenses and materials and services to special payments. This is to pay Asante and Providence hospitals for opioid use navigators. The result of this adjustment will decrease the operating expenses category by $70,000 from $51,772,590 to $51,702,590, and it will create a new special payment category in the amount of $70,000. There's no impact to the Health and Human Services Fund appropriations of $60,916,795. In the motor pool fund, not dedicated fund balance, the amount of $80,000 will be used for operating expenses that are over budget. The result of this adjustment will increase the operating expenses category by $80,000 from $4,664,931 to $4,744,931. Total net effect of this adjustment will increase motor pool fund appropriations by that same amount of $80,000 from $4,990,978 to $5,070,978. In the Recreational Enterprise Fund, which is our parks essentially, property damage reimbursement from insurance in the amount of $600,000 will be used for expenses to repair the Joseph Stewart Lodge, which was damaged by a falling tree during a storm. The result of this adjustment will increase the operating expenses category by $600,000 from $6,529,784 to $7,129,784. And the total net effect of this adjustment will increase the Recreational Enterprise Fund appropriations by that same amount, $600,000, from $7,211,140 to $7,811,140. And in Risk Management, General and Auto Liability Fund, reserves in the amount of $1,200,000 will be used for unbudgeted Sheriff's Office excessive claims. The result of this adjustment will increase the operating expenses category by $1,200,000 from $4,253,751 to $5,453,751. Total net effect of this adjustment will increase Risk Management and General Auto Liability Fund by that same amount of $1,200,000 from $4,253,751 to $5,453,751. It's recommended that the public hearing be held. Following the public hearing, should the Board of Commissioners concur with the supplemental budget number 2 for fiscal year 24-25, approval of that order will implement the action.
Thank you. Any questions on the supplemental?
I have none.
Do you have to read the rules again so we don't have anarchy?
I should.
Okay.
The following are the rules for the conduct of public hearing. Only the chairperson or member of the Board of County Commissioners may question a speaker. There'll be no interruption of a speaker from the audience, no debates on the floor. Applause is not permitted. The speaker may criticize a proposal of the board or agency of the county, but the speaker shall not argue with another speaker directly. Any speaker may present an opposite view, but not in personal terms. The person wishing to speak shall sign in or raise his or her hand and be recognized by the chairperson conducting the hearing. After being recognized, the speaker shall state his or her name and address before proceeding with his or her statement. The chairperson may limit the duration of any presentation to the time necessary to cover factual information. Repetition by the speaker shall be avoided. Whoever violates any such rule shall first be warned by the chairperson to desist from such violation. In the event that such person is not so desist, he or she may be ordered by the chairperson to leave the hearing. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So with that, we will open the public hearing and order adopting the supplemental budget number 2 for fiscal year 2024-2025. If nobody's signed up again, but if you want to speak about it, feel free to come up, or if you're online and would like to add your comments or questions, raise your Zoom hand. Nobody's coming up.
Madam Chair, no one has their Zoom hand raised.
Okay. Well, I'll close the public hearing on that and take a motion for deliberation.
Move adoption of order number 130-25.
I'll second.
Any comments?
Housekeeping and keeping the county running.
And I'll say most all of this is reflecting actions that we've already approved and done. It's just taking care of the financial documentation of it. So.
Madam Chair, do you mind if I add something?
Sure.
I don't mean to do it in the middle of your deliberation. Typically, I do it at the beginning of my explanation. In this case, I'm a little rusty since I've been out for a little over a month with surgery. We do supplemental budgets, so by the end of the year, we don't overspend our appropriations authority. When we get additional revenue and need to spend it above what we've budgeted, it requires a supplemental budget. So that's what this is for. We don't do it every time we get additional funding because we get additional funding all throughout the year. What our board does is typically enter into a contract to spend what that additional funding will be approved with our supplemental budget. So when she said a lot of this is already done and implemented, it's because we've had contractual arrangements that may or may not be paid, but that implement the work that's done by the process of providing for a supplemental budget.
Thank you. This is your work that completes our actions that makes it all legitimate.
Good fiscal practice.
Yeah.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. And we have one final public hearing, and it's a good one as well. But it's a public hearing in order in the matter of setting fees for Jackson County, Oregon. And it's order number 131-25. Mr. Jordan, you want to kick this one off too?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'll start this one with an explanation that ORS actually allows us to adjust our fees twice a year. Typically, we do it once a year. The board does get a presentation regarding fees. They're provided those fee proposals in advance. We do set fees at the county across all departments. They can be set by numerous ways. One is by board order, by our ordinance, our codified ordinance. One is by state law. Another one's by contract. So we do have different ways that fees get set besides this. What I do want to say about these fees is that our fees are cost studied, so we don't just decide what we're going to charge someone and charge it. We actually account. We're only allowed to charge what the actual cost is of doing something. So we actually cost every fee that we set unless it's set by statute or contract. There are a few exceptions to that. I just want to make sure people understand that an enterprise fund is allowed to charge more than it costs to do something. An enterprise fund is like a business. It's allowed to make money. So we have 3 enterprise funds in the county. One is the Fair and Expo. So when we decide we're going to set a concert ticket price, the goal is to actually make revenue from having a concert, not just cover our costs. Another one is our park system, and our park system is an enterprise fund. They're not supported by the general fund at all. They're self-supporting, unless, of course, the board decides to make a unique appropriation from the general fund. And then the big one is our airport. It receives also no general fund support, and it is an enterprise fund and operates by itself. So with that said, Madam Chair, in this case, Oregon by statute 203-115 allows counties to charge the amount of fees change the amount of fees every 6 months. A public hearing and approval of fees was last done July 24th of 2024. The fees become effective July 31st of 2024 pursuant to ORS 294-160. The Board of Commissioners must hold a public hearing to allow for public comment on new or increased fees. It's recommended that the public hearing be held. Following the public hearing, should the Board of Commissioners find the fees are acceptable, approval of the board order will implement that action, and the effective date of fees will be June 30th of 2025. I do want to just comment that we're required to have a hearing on new or increased fees, but we include all of our fees, and many of our fees are actually reduced. I know a lot of the public probably doesn't feel that way because they see fee increases, but we increase and reduce fees also. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions on the fees? We like I said, we've had a presentation, a lot of discussion on it prior, and I'm sure we'll have some rules read before the public hearing opens.
We will.
Thank you.
The rules for the conduct of the public hearing are hereby established as follows. Only the chairperson, member of the Board of County Commissioners may question a speaker. There will be no interruption of a speaker from the audience and no debates on the floor. Applause is not permitted. The speaker may criticize the proposal, the board, or any to the county, but the speaker shall not argue with another speaker directly. Any speaker may present an opposite view, but not in personal terms. A person wishing to speak shall sign in or raise his or her hand and be recognized by the chairperson conducting the hearing. After being recognized, the speaker shall state his or her name and address before proceeding with his or her statement. The chairperson may limit the duration of any presentation time necessary to cover factual information. Repetition by a speaker shall be avoided. Whoever violates any of these such rules shall first be warned by the chairperson to desist from such violation. In the event that such person does not so desist, he or she may be ordered by the chairperson to leave the hearing. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And with that, we'll open the public hearing in the matter of setting fees for Jackson County. So if anybody has any comments or questions, or here in the auditorium, you can come to the microphone, or if you're online, raise your Zoom hand. And we'll love to hear from you.
Madam Chair, no one has their Zoom hand raised.
And nobody is coming forward. So we'll close the public hearing then and take a motion.
I will move approval of order number 131-25.
Second.
And deliberation.
So
Comments.
as you mentioned, we go over the schedule and pretty much every fee very carefully. And I want to thank Lori Goodrich, who's here, and everyone who had a part in assembling the schedule. But it was very obviously easy for us to read and understand where the fees were, the costs were coming from, and if they were raised or lowered, whatever the case may be. Again, very useful document for us to make a decision on this. And of course, our goal is to make sure that public resources are adequately compensated and reimbursed for any private benefit conferred on another citizen, and that fees are fair, not charging too much, but also making sure that, again, public resources are adequately compensated for the benefits conferred on other individuals. And I think it does a pretty good job of that.
Totally agree with Mr. Dyer, and for the reasons stipulated by Mr. Jordan, I support this order.
Yeah, I had tons of questions, as I always do, comparing fees. I know Shannon and Lori answered all my questions, and we we got through all that process ahead of time. And I'm as much as I hate fees, but I'm glad there are many lowered, to support what we're proposing today. So we'll take a vote.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Okay, so we actually get to move on to discussion and deliberation items, and the first one's an order authorizing a general lease agreement with Rolling Frito-Lay Sales LP, order number 132-25. Mr. Jordan.
Madam Chair, members of the board, I think the board's aware, but we own property that's located at 55 Schultz Road in Medford, provides 62,510 square feet of space for Rolling Frito-Lay Sales. Frito-Lay, their current lease expires on June 30th of 2025. They do desire to enter into a new 3-year general lease agreement. This is property on our airport that derives a revenue that the airport uses in our in the operations of our revenue on the ground side, not on the air side. The term of the agreement is July 1st, 2025 through June 30th of 2028. It's an estimated annual revenue of $124,995, and I do recommend your approval.
Thank you. Any discussion on that?
Move approval of order number 132-25.
And I'll second. The only discussion.
Any discussion now?
The only
Any
discussion I have
questions?
is that thinking about 62,000 square feet of Fritos is making me hungry.
Well, this is an example of the enterprise fund at work right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Our next item is order authorizing a Jackson County Services contract with Baker Tilly US LLP, order number 133-25. Mr. Jordan.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. In this case, ordered by statute 297-425 requires that the accounts and fiscal affairs of the county be audited and reviewed at least once each fiscal year. As stated in the ORS, the audit and review shall be made by an accountant pursuant to the contract entered into by the local governing body. Baker Tilly US LLP, which is previously known in our case as Moss Adams LLP, will provide audit services for governmental accounting, pension accounting, and other issues pertaining to municipal accounting requirements in Oregon. Term of the contract will be July 1st, 2025 through June 30th of 2028. It's an expense of $333,408, and I do recommend your approval.
I will move approval of order number 133-25.
Second.
Any discussion?
Boring accounting stuff.
They always do a good job for us, though. And apparently this is a bigger organization that's taken them in, so hopefully it runs as well.
Sorry about that. Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Next is an order authorizing a Jackson County Services contract with Oregon Recovery and Treatment Center. It's order number 134-25. Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, Madam Chair, in this case, Oregon Recovery and Treatment Center provides medications for opioid use disorder, the MOUD program, reduce cravings to the return use, and maintain physiological tolerance to otherwise toxic amounts of illicit opioids, and reduce all-cause mortality related to opioid use disorder. Services will include an update to screening procedures with evidence-based, person-centered, and trauma-informed tools, and training that will provide important insights into how best to help each adult in custody. Adults in custody who participate in the MOUD program will be treated and released with sublingual medication containing buprenorphine. The term of the contract is July 1st, 2025 through June 30th of 2026, and it's expense of $200,000, and I do recommend your approval.
I'll take a motion.
Move approval of order number 134-25.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, great program, and I think it again illustrates tangibly how we can help folks who come involved with law enforcement and are incarcerated or in custody actually, again, tangibly improve their situation before they're back out on the street, where those temptations are presented to them every day. And hopefully this is a program that'll work really well to help reduce that issue that we find so prevalently here in the county.
Agreed. Can't say it much better than that.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Our next order is initiating a legalization proceedings for a portion of Wilson Road, County Road 728, located in Section 35, Township 36 South, Range 2 East of the Willamette Meridian, and it's order number 135-25. Mr. Jordan.
Madam Chair, members of the board, in this case, it's Oregon Revised Statute 368-201, Sub 1. It authorizes the Jackson County Board of Commissioners to initiate legalization proceedings for a county road if, through omission or defect, doubt exists as to the legal establishment or evidence of establishment of the public road. Doubt exists as to the legal establishment of a portion of Wilson Road, County Road 728 between Upton Road and 1,161.9 feet east of Upton Road. The Rose Parks Department agrees that it's in the best interest of the public to initiate legalization proceedings for this portion of Wilson Road.
Great. I'll take a motion on that.
I will move approval of order number 135-25.
Second.
Any discussion? Nope, we'll take a vote.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Our final item is an order initiating a vacation proceedings for a certain portion of unimproved public right-of-way, commonly known as Mira Street, located in Section 14D, Township 37 South, Range 2 West of the Willamette Meridian. It's order number 136-25. Mr. Jordan.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the Board of Commissioners did receive a petition to vacate a portion of Mira Street. The portion of Mira Street proposed for vacation was dedicated to the public as part of the Airman Warehouse Industrial District plat, which was dated May 10th of 1952, recorded in Volume 6, page 76 of the official records of Jackson County, Oregon. Petition received contained the acknowledged signatures representing 66% of the owners of land abutting the proposed property to be vacated. A majority of Mira Street, as platted, has previously been vacated, and the remaining portion serves no valuable transportation utility.
Thank you. I'll take a motion.
Move approval of order number 136-25.
And I'll second.
And I guess I'll just say this is a matter of just cleaning up things too, not just the budget, but some of our not roads.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. And that does conclude our agenda, so our meeting is adjourned.
Yeah. It was.
We hope that you've enjoyed this week's Jackson County Board of Commissioners meeting. If you have any questions on any part of the show, please feel free to contact your Jackson County Commissioners or staff. You can find their contact information at jacksoncountyor.gov. To review the content of this or any other meeting, under the Government tab, under Recorded Meetings, click on RVTV Live Streaming.